Welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 24, and today it's going to be another challenge rebuild in a fantasy draft. Of course, this one's suggested by one of you guys. I actually took down a couple of them, so I thought they were actually pretty decent. This one's by Luca Dimperio, who says that we should do a fantasy draft rebuild where we have to take the position of a player that just went before us. So obviously, you see it all the time where it's like, you know, oh, I can't believe they just took him. I just missed him, you know. That position would be the one. So if, you know, someone like Saquon Barkley was just taken and we're the next pick, we have to take a running back, which I don't know how challenging that's going to be, but you never know because there's a lot of linemen, so we could end up with multiple linemen. We could end up with, you know, multiple quarterbacks, perhaps. You know, it's not going to be as hard as some of the other challenges, but in the same time, if we got really unlucky, it could actually be harder than those other challenges. So if you guys have any suggestions like Mr. Luca, maybe let me know in the comment section below, and if I think they're decent, I shall shout you out, and of course, you know, we'll do it, which I really appreciate. While you're down there, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I really do appreciate your continued support on the channel, but of course, we're going to know very quickly if we get cucked or not. Obviously, if we ended up with like a top 5 pick, we're in a really good spot because that means that we get a quarterback, right? Pretty much. So I don't know what pick I'm really hoping for here. I think the first round we should be almost guaranteed a good player, right? So let's see what we get, and that is going to be pick number 5. What kind of sorcery did I just pull off? Literally pick number 5. As far as quarterbacks go, there are some names here. I almost wonder if this is going to be too easy, but it's different. It is different. Normally, we don't have a good quarterback at all, but this time, we might be cooking. Now, I don't know who the best is. I think Jalen Hurts is an X factor now, 25 years old, but I worry about the throw power. I see Herbert do things. Do I always see Jalen Hurts do things? I don't know. Also, Tua being star, not superstar, is a little strange right now. I don't know, dude. This seems like a Herbert play, right? Because the throw power and whatnot. Justin Herbert, huh? I think Justin Herbert's better than Jalen Hurts. Let's see, 87, 86, 91 versus... So, I mean, a little bit more accurate, but that throw power is very bad. The speed is obviously ridiculous, but I really think that it's got to be Justin Herbert, right? All right, so we kind of got the luckiest pull you could literally possibly have. I mean, obviously pick 2 would have been even better, but Justin Herbert is going to be the choice. He was supposed to go 33rd. We took him 5. I don't believe he was actually going to be 33. Wide receiver. Hello? Is this... What kind of challenge is this? It's not feeling like a challenge, I'll be honest with you. Is DK there? DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle... I would think Jalen Waddle or DK would probably be our best bet, as Ayuk still star dead for some reason. We've got some players, though. We're getting hooked up with the juice, if you will. I think it's DJ Moore, Waddle, and Waddle's probably younger, right? I think that would be the move. If we got 2, that would have been so crazy. But 24 years old for Waddle. The release is kind of bad. The route running's not great. DJ Moore is 26, of course. He's better release for sure, but I think you gotta go Waddle. So Jalen Waddle after Justin Herbert. Now, we could get really screwed here, because if we get quarterback, we have to take another quarterback, which we could probably trade if we want to allow that. Right end, Aiden Hutchinson. I do not know who right end is going to be. Like, what kind of right ends are we looking at? Von Miller. Okay, so this is where it kind of like falls off a little bit. Obviously, if we take a guy like Derek Brown, we can put him at DT. It's just we're forced to take right end, and as you can see, it's the 3rd round, and the right end position is dead. If we were to look at other positions, let's see, like left end, Greg Rousseau is amazing. Montez Sweat's still pretty good. Will Anderson's amazing. John Franklin Myers is decent. Karl Loftus is decent. If we were to look at DT, you know, if we were going to go for Derek Brown, we could have had Jonathan Allen instead. You know, there's some really good names here still, like pure pass rush, Josh Allen at edge, Jalen Phillips, I suppose. Right outside linebacker, not great, but, you know, joke. But, yeah, it's going to be right end, and I don't know what Josh Sweat's overall. He's 26. Edge is harder to get than DT. 85 finesse, 85 speed. It could be Derek Brown or Josh Sweat. I think those are the only 2 real options here. And like I said, DT is a little easier to get. Let's see how good Derek Brown actually is now. 25 years old. Block Shed's good. Power Move's not great. I think Sweat makes more sense. I think Edge, pure Edge is harder to get. So we're going to go with Josh Sweat here with our third pick. Not a bad start, though. Now it's cornerback, which obviously, pure value-wise, especially since corner's not hard to draft, is a bit on the bad side right now, but let's see what we get. So Jamel Dean's kind of up there in age now, but he's still young enough at 26. He's definitely an option. What about, like, Tariq Woolen? What overall is he now? Okay, so Greg Newsome and Devin Witherspoon obviously beat who we were going to go with. Christian Gonzalez is up there. I don't know what Tariq Woolen's overall is. Is he already gone? He might already be gone. What about pure speed? Would that be easier to find him? Deontay Banks. I think this is probably going to be either Witherspoon or Newsome. I really like Newsome in the game, though. 23, 81 man, 85 zone. Witherspoon, who's having an amazing season, is a little bit slower. Better man, worse zone. What's his archetype? Could get to slot, which is a very good archetype to get. Whereas Greg Newsome, what's his archetype? Yeah, slot is never going to have a chance. That's tough. What was the age difference? Is it like 21 and 23? Because if it is, then Witherspoon's the guy. 22. It is a year. He is a year younger. It's a close call, but I'm going to go with the youngster Witherspoon. Left guard. Okay, so guard's a good position to get. Usually they last a little bit longer than tackles do, so there should still be a lot of talent here. But obviously losing, Quentin Nelson, quite literally, is, an L, because, he's going to be the best. So we're taking a bit of a drop back the moment that happens. Tell me Tyler's star. How is he an 85 overall, EA, but he's normal still? How does that make sense? Like, make it make sense. As much as I love Elton Jenkins, and he is star, he is significantly older, so I really don't care about dev difference. I think this is going to go to Tyler Smith. And whatever reason, Landon Dickerson is always a guy that I struggle to re-sign. Tyler Smith is by far just, so underrated in the game. Even as an 85 overall, he is really underrated. He used to be super underrated, but look at these ratings. I mean, that's just good. Tyler Smith is going to be added. A lot of offense so far. We obviously do have one defender, but mainly offense, left end. So we're going to have our edge potentially already done. We did mention some good ends. Karlaftis is here. That might be our choice. Kwity Paye. Haven't really seen him develop too well. Barmore is kind of on the older side for development, right? Like, he is so raw. Good finesse move, though, which is pretty good. But I think this might actually be edge that we select. I think we're going to actually, take an actual edge. So Karlaftis is going to be our choice. 22 years old with 81 power move. Our pass rushers are complete. And now we get a running back, which is pretty early. And that's a good poll, which is probably going to end up being Kenneth Walker. Breece Hall. So Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, or Bijan Robinson. Man, that is tough. Bijan is really good. I think it's really hard to pass on him. Kenneth is still star dev in the game as well, I believe. You can't go wrong with either, to be honest, but I think in Madden, Bijan does a little bit better. I almost always see him as an X Factor, whereas Kenneth, I don't. This is a tough call. You're getting slightly younger with Bijan, but that really isn't relevant. Doesn't really matter. But you have a chance at Rookie of the Year as well. So Bijan Robinson is going to be my choice. A couple of factors that lead to that. So we are going to land ourselves Bijan. Now we move on to right tackle, which is definitely going to be our first super L position. As you can see here, it's just going to be probably someone old, although Onwenu is playing right tackle. Kind of saving us here. That's probably who we go with, unless there's somebody else that I'm just completely missing. Mekhi Becton, even though he's still superstar, it really just hasn't worked out for me in the past. I think even though he's superstar, I might just go with the overall. 6 overalls is massive. So we're going to go with Mike Onwenu. And we're going right back to cornerback with Paulson Adebo. Let's see what we get here. I mean, so far, so pretty damn good, I got to be honest. Corner is a little bit of a drop-off. Isaiah Rodgers is actually better than you would probably imagine. Any, young corners? Manuel Forbes. Okay. DJ Turner. Manuel Forbes, DJ Turner, Khair Elam. Okay, so we got some names. I would imagine Forbes, unless he's 23, is probably going to be the choice. I probably don't even need to look at anyone else, but we will, just to cross the things and the T's and whatnot. Witherspoon, no. DJ Turner, they're both 22. Turner's faster, but once again, I've struggled with developing him as well. But even then, Forbes is the better player regardless. So we actually landed two, pretty young, developable rookie corners. Both 180 pounds, I think, as well. Not that that really matters, but, just throwing that out there. Another lineman, center. This could actually be pretty decent. Linderbaum. Oh, my man's is gone. I don't know if Eric McCoy is even that young anymore. 26. Very balanced across the board. Always has been, though. So unless Connor Williams is better than I expect, it's probably going to be him. Connor is really good, too. He's another one of those players that's very safe to take. Yeah, I mean, the talent drop-off is pretty bad. Like, you can go for Tippmann, but it's just not worth it. So we are probably... Let's make sure Jensen isn't he isn't, super young. I think he's 34, though. 32. I mean, that is usable, but... Yeah, I think the best choice is Eric McCoy. He can move around the line pretty well. 26, he'll be here for a while. Wide receiver. So it's a little bit, been a little while since we've gotten another wide receiver. This team has actually done really well. Speaking of doing really well, Nakua has done very well for me as well recently. A lot of wells. So I don't know. I might go for him. Rashee Rice for the Chiefs has done well. Do I take him is the question. We got Elijah Moore, who should be... Nah, he's normal, actually. I remember that now. It's Nakua for sure right now. And then Rashee Rice is a debatable one, too. What about, pure devs? Mingo. Quentin Johnston is there. That's a name. Treylon Burks. Darius Slayton. So Rashee Rice or Quentin Johnston. 2 years difference. I think you got to go Quentin. Quentin Johnston is going to be joining the squad, mixed with Waddle. So we got our wide receivers. Familiar face for Mr. Herbert. Strong safety. Von Bell is a name drop. Hooker, how old is he now? 25, 26? 25 star. Usable. Really high zone. Might even be my damn choice. That's the fun thing about doing these rebuild challenges, that we get to use players we normally wouldn't. Kirby Joseph honestly makes Hooker look, I guess like a hooker, really. Daxton Hill, he hasn't really developed well in previous... I guess he actually did pretty well in our Rams rebuild. He was like a hybrid type. Daxton Hill or Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph's probably what I'm looking for more in a safety, like a pure zone coverage guy. So I think I might go Kirby Joseph. It's another guy that, once again, I don't get to use often. If it's always the rookie safeties that are super young that I go for. But I will say it's hard to pass on a guy that's significantly faster. I'm going to go Kirby Joseph. Let's add a damn new name to our squad. Of course, with really high catching, you would hope that he intercepts the ball more, but probably won't. DT. I mean, Armstead's not promising, but maybe a Jalen Carter? Maybe? Be asking for a lot. A Digazua for sure would be there. I mean, Keanu Benton's a guy that lasts a long time. Ooh, Brazee. Brazee is there. Is he not star anymore? Or are all these guys hidden? These guys are all star, aren't they? Brian Brazee. Welcome to the squad. Another fun name. I mean, this draft has gone pretty well. Can't think of a name that, that's really done badly. We're going to get another safety, so we'll have our safeties filled out. I thought this was going to go so much worse. And right now, it's been like a dream, honestly. Blankenship's 24. I thought he was going to be younger than that. He's not. Obviously, Derek Force is up there. And honestly, based on, dev to overall ratio, Force looks like clear-cut number one. The best bet you're going to get is Lewis Seen, and he's like a 70 overall now. 70 over. I mean, I'd rather take the normal dev guy and just hope for a dev up. 24 is, it's a little up there, but I'm down. I'm down with the higher overall. Although run support's his highest thing, which worries me, but it is what it is. We've done it. We've accepted the consequences. And now we got a right out, which obviously we're going to be aiming for a coverage guy, which I don't know if we're going to get. Willie Gay is there. Is he star yet? Normal dev. He's 25 as well. There's got to be somebody here. Surely. Travis Gibson. More of a pass rusher. Jabo. I mean, this pretty much looks like Willie Gay. And the worst part is I imagine middle linebackers got some names still. Let's see. Not really, actually, to be fair. You got Jack Campbell and Nakobe Dean. Gibbons. Yeah, Drew Sanders. Okay, there's a lot more middle linebackers. This is going to be our for sure worst pick by a while. I don't know what by a while means, but we're going to be going, I suppose, with Willie Gay. Tavai is a little younger than I would have thought, to be fair, but let's go with William Gay. I don't know if that's a real name or not, but maybe not. I mean, I don't think EA cares about speed as much as I do. I'm going to go Tavai. He looked better. Block shed and zone were significantly better, even if he's significantly slower. And we do get middle linebacker right after. We're cooking. We are cooking. This should be some sort of hidden development trait player, unless we got absolutely screwed. We actually did. Like, we actually did kind of get screwed. Like, thankfully, Drew Sanders is still there, but wow. They actually took... Oh, Trenton Simpson. Okay, I gotta go Trenton Simpson. How many times I've missed out on him? It is damn time, baby. Trenton Speedster Simpson. That's our guy. Left tackle. Okay, this is going to be a really bad pick. I mean, we're going to probably have to reach for the freaking Jaguars guy. Jonah Williams, Broderick Jones. Okay, Broderick Jones. Trevor Penning, hell no, Anton Harrison. So it's always between, like, you know, Anton Harrison or some random dude. But Broderick Jones is here. He's a little bit higher of an overall, I suppose. Broderick Jones is going to be our choice. So we now have, what, 3 offensive linemen? Maybe 4? I think 4, actually. I think we had a center, a guard, and both tackles. Tight end. Okay, Dolcic, I think, is also star, so there could still be someone here. Trey McBride, please. Cade Otton. Is Cade Otton? Oh, no, it's not going to be Trey, because Trey's, like, actually a pretty decent overall now. Crap. Is it going to be Luke Musgrave? No way. I need someone youthful, potentially with death. Chagosium. It's either going to be Chagosium or Musgrave. And I think based on age, it's not really going to be... is Jelani hidden? So likely a star. I can't remember what happened the last time we did Musgrave. Did he develop? I don't even know. Chagosium Okonkwo. 80 catch. Obviously he's fast. 80 catch. 68... 64. Where the hell is our mans? Oh, he's a lot faster, better at catching than I thought he was going to be. He's pretty close to Okonkwo. Musgrave is a rookie, so maybe he could win Rookie of the Year. I mean, as a Packers fan, I'm just going to go Musgrave. I mean, he's always just a freak. He's just so freaking freakly. I said freaking twice there. Cornerback. Another cornerback. Really didn't need this in my life. It's going to be between Stevenson and Cam Smith, I imagine. I can't remember. I thought we did, use Cam Smith once before, and it just didn't work out. So 74 zone, and obviously we know that his man is pretty bad. Stevenson's 23. I can't be doing that. It's going to be Cam Smith, baby. Going to go with the dev, obviously. Even if he's not starting, it's smart. Cam Smith's our choice. Please, no more corners. Please. Wide receiver. Probably didn't need that position either. What do we actually even need at this point? Maybe another linebacker? DT, actually, but that's probably too late. Probably Romeo Dobbs. I think he's the highest value player here right now. Although you do have Mingo as well. But considering this is going to be our number 3 spot, I think you go with the highest overall because they give you the highest chance to do anything with them. So Romeo Dobbs, who is like 4 or 5 overalls higher than Mingo. Same age. Actually, was Mingo 1 year younger? I don't care. Who cares? DT, we just talked about that. Might be our final position of actual need. But I don't think it's going to matter because we're probably not going to get someone startable. I'm actually really debating on what the hell we even draft because this has gone really well. And I mean, I kind of expected it to go well, but I thought we'd have had a lot of repeat positions. And honestly, it worked out almost perfectly. And wow, these DTs suck. Ika, I guess, even though he's not really the type of DT that we want to start. Like, what is even the point of me drafting him? Like, what does he actually bring to the table besides being a monster? I'm just going to bring him on, dude. Who cares? He's my big freaking monster. Osiris Torrance. That's the one thing that sucks about this is you see the really good player go before you, and you're like, oh, well, there's going to be no one here for us now. City Sao. He's 25 years old, as likely. No, not James Conner. He's not a guard. This don't look good. Cam Jurgens is 23 as well. 24. Jesus, these rookies are getting older and older. Kind of crazy. Is this just a straight up L? Like, am I just taking the L here no matter what? Trey Turner, Stromberg, Mauk. I think Stromberg's our best chance. 22 star, whereas Mauk is like 23, 24. All right, 69 overall. We're not done, though. We could get another lineman and then, work from there. Left outside linebacker. We could definitely use another linebacker, but I don't know if we're going to find anyone great at left out for off ball. Boogie Basham might just grab him for depth if there's no one else. Anthony Jennings. This looks like depth. I mean, we'll check dev just in case, but this is a dev pick. Depth, not dev. I ain't deving anyone here. I guess Christian Harris. Maybe he's actually going to end up a starter, even though that coverage is terrible. How far my man's is coming, our Texans franchise. I mean, this has gone insanely well. Like, we have all of our starters, and then they slap a backup for us. Now, it might be a little too late to find anyone halfway decent, but that's still kind of crazy. None of these guys are actually going to be hidden. Tyler Batty. I don't even know who the hell I want here. Abanakanda. Deuce Vaughn's pretty cool. Tank Bigsby. What's that truck look like, though? Yeah, Tank Bigsby looking like one of those CPU-generated running backs I like to draft, so I'm going to draft him in a fantasy draft instead. We end up taking Mr. Jacorian Bennett to be our number 4 corner, I believe it is, and a wide receiver, which we don't need. I think to make it even more challenging, which I don't even know if that's even possible at this point. It's gone so well. I'm probably just going to sim the rest of the picks and assume they're going to give us worse players than we would have had. Jalen Hyatt's going to be my choice. I always go in, even though I think you can just click X, but I am who I am, and I will click every time. We ended up taking Darnell Washington as we had a tight end, and yeah, I don't really think there's much going on here. I think the draft is kind of like dead for most positions. So we are, Zach Harrison, I guess, but I think we are going to move on and sim the rest of the draft. We'll go Zach Harrison, I suppose. You know, he's got a little bit of redeeming qualities, a little bit of block shedding. But let's leave this thing. Ooh, safety. I lied. Especially with Caden Stearns there. I mean, that kind of sucks that he's gone specifically. But, you know, if Caden Stearns is there, there's some options. Jordan Battle's kind of young. And, I mean, you already know. You already know what it is. Nick Cross, the speed demon with like 2 years of age in life. We're simming the rest of the draft after I look at right end. I'm addicted to fantasy drafts. Like, it's actually a legitimate problem at this point. Logan Hall. I mean, these players will never do anything for us. A lot of them are going to be on like 1-year deals that we just don't re-sign to, yet it just matters to me for some reason. My brain makes me care for no reason. Like, stop. Please, stop me. Ooh, quarterback. I just can't stop. I have to draft forever. Okay, quarterbacks do suck, so I will be selecting Dorian Thompson-Robinson and calling it a draft. We're gonna leave no matter what. No matter what this is. Even if it's like running back, and I really want another running back. Wide receiver Danny Gray, pretty speedy. End of draft. They're not really going to be able to do much for us anyways, but let's take a look at that starting roster and see how good we're cooking for year 1. Like, this is actually what happens when you auto-draft. You get Kenyon Drake and freaking Damian Williams. Like, any other oldies, no fullback, mind you. Then you get River Craycraft and Olabisi Johnson. Tight ends, any olds? Hey, we got some old, some youngish players. We got Parkinson. Ogletree, looking at this draft is giving me Parkinson's. There's some things here that aren't really thangin'. This is a draft, and it's not a very good one. The backups are horrendous, but we did okay for ourselves. Going to be playing in that 4-3. We definitely need a new DT, and we'll see how the linebackers develop. We'll probably need a couple of linebackers, maybe. Trenton Simpson's probably the only long-term guy, but Tavai could be the guy. He's kind of slow, but once again in Madden, I don't think they care about that stuff. But 75 zone, 73 block shed, it's still something to look at. I kind of have to imagine out the gate that we're going to do pretty well for ourselves. You got to remember, even though it's a challenge rebuild, this challenge, because we didn't get really unlucky with repeats, like this would have been one where, in other runs where it's like, oh, we got our kicker punter already, we're going to let that go. Because the challenge isn't the hardest thing we've ever done, if we had 10 cornerbacks in the first 15 picks, we would have had to keep taking corners. That's literally what the plan would have been. But we got pretty lucky rolls, and look at these corners though. Like 85 speed. What do you? Oh, his zone coverage. Okay, wait a minute, EA. This man, his zone coverage is actually pretty good. Hold on. They got me a cool free safety as well. Ifeatu Melifonwu. No kicker punter, because the AI just doesn't believe in those positions. We'll get kicker punter fullback, set the lineup up, and win a Super Bowl year 1. Let's be honest, this team is goated. Oh, so nobody wants him. No trade packages could be found. Yet a 3rd-round pick goes for Ben Jones. That was one of the players they drafted for us. That's basically the only guy I'm trading. Everyone else is going to be a starter. All right, here is our little squad. We are cooking. 81 overall. We have a squad already. Obviously, tight end is question mark. Several offensive linemen are question marks. Maybe wide receivers a question mark. D-line, DT2 for sure. DT1, maybe. Outside linebackers, maybe. Free safety, potentially. And then cornerback, I think we're fine, but Forbes with that tiny head and huge shoulders. Once again, I absolutely apologize if that's what he looks like in real life. It might just be an unflattering photo, but it just looks strange. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. He's something. It looks like Beetlejuice. Looks like it's from the movie. Or Johnny Knoxville is it Johnny Knoxville's heads that? No, he had a little baby head. I think I literally said this last time I brought him up. Literally the last time, which was probably like a Commanders rebuild or something. But I don't know what playbook to run because we do have a really good running back, but at the same time, I do want to get the wide receivers developed because Bijan's going to kind of naturally develop, whereas the receivers won't. Karlaftis is a great name to get a camp standout for as he gets +3 to power move and finesse. You could debate I should have went with block shed first, but the reason why I didn't want to do that is because I don't know how far up his power move is to his block shed, and you get a +5 to that rather than a +3. So we may have really screwed him over. Nah, we should have went power move, or block shed, because he would have still been below and would have got auto upgrades for power move or power rusher. But he would have had a really good, block shed boost. But nope, I sold. Karlaftis cooking 10k XP. We used him recently enough. I can't remember. He devved up pretty well, but was it off of a camp standout? I actually don't know who this is, but we've got a dev up. Witherspoon? Forrest. Okay, well, free safety is off the list. We're at 112 mil. Anyone need a... Okay, so John... Oh, my lord, the Edge needs a contract, which I suppose is good timing. Forrest needs a contract as well. So we have 3 big names, but they're not really asking for big money. Kicker, punter, I will see about. We'll have to see if they're doing well or not. Of course, we added use check, and, the kicker, punter are both superstars. I don't know how well these edge rushers are playing, but, I mean, at this point... We know how hard it is to get rookie or young edge rushers, so we are going to be paying these guys as a high amount of years as we physically can. That makes sense, obviously. Forrest, he's a safety, so I don't want to lock myself in too much, especially with a guy that has low zone. But overall, it's good. It's good to get those guys out of the way. 77 mil left over as well, and, I'd imagine Herbert would have got it paid already. I freaking pray he did. Carlson, I mean, we got to pay attention to these, how they're playing, because I don't know, once again, if it's overall that does it or what, but kicker seems to be so hit or miss that it's hard to, actually, be loyal to anyone because nobody's truly guaranteed to be good ever. Sometimes the best kickers do really badly, and sometimes the worst kickers will do the best, so can you trust it? I don't know. AJ Cole's pretty good, so we'll try to get him back if we can, and... we'll be cooking. Big game. Win could be a playoff spot or not. We beat the Buccaneers, but miss the playoffs at 9-8. There's no real consolation for missing the playoffs as the Bears have our first-round pick. I try to choose a team with, without a first-round pick and a team that I also haven't rebuilt yet. So, just to give a little flavor to that team's fan base until we actually do a full, realistic rebuild. But yeah, that was the season. I rocked the Panthers playbook until we started to lose, and then I switched to the Chiefs the last 4 weeks, and, I mean, we started to win some games, I suppose. Johnston, I don't know. Maybe he got Rookie of the Year, which would be really helpful. Musgrave's not bad. Waddle was terrible, though, when you consider his talent level, and then Dobbs was, slot receiver level, I suppose. Blocking, left tackle, pretty good for a rookie, and then Onwenu, he's not the highest overall in the world, so 6 sacks allowed for him. When we know how bad those numbers usually get, is actually a win. Simpson, 106 tackles. Karlaftis, pretty good sacks. Sweat, disappointing. Tavai, not bad, even though he's not really supposed to be pass rushing anyways, unless I made a mistake, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Interceptions, 4 for Witherspoon. Maybe we did land Rookie of the Year on both sides. You never know. Carlson misses 4. 2 were blocked. Cole, just over 51 yards per punt. And let's take a look at those awards. We might have cleared some awards. You never know, which would be huge. Burrow wins MVP, and we are on the NFC side, so let's take a look. Oh, it was Bijan. No, Bijan, no. Johnston needs the dev up so much more. Did we get it? Witherspoon at least got one, and I think he's only star, even though he's having a crazy good season. So that will be a dev up for him, which is clutch. Bijan was actually number 6, or Bijan Robinson. Receivers number 4, so maybe Pro Bowl if one of these teams ahead of us makes the Super Bowl. And that's kind of it for the awards. But we did pretty well for ourselves. We should have at least a dev up, maybe more. But 9 and 8, I still kind of thought we would be a playoff team. Division's not like that great, but we missed. And the Ravens versus the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers in the division win a Super Bowl. So now we have to try and somehow beat that. We almost stole their playoff spot with a win right at the end, yet it didn't happen. Come on, Johnston. Just do the damn thing, would you? Yes! Yes, indeed. Superstar dev for Mr. Quentin Johnston. Absolutely loving that. Return man, receivers usually get pretty bad abilities. Everyone gets bad abilities if they're low overall. Superstar. Dev up. Witherspoon got a dev up. Forrest got a dev up, which is a little surprising. Christian Harris got a dev up. Still might replace him. We'll see. Kind of depends on, what picks we have and, what we're actually able to accomplish before trying to replace him. Tavai didn't go up once, did he? I think he started as a 79, didn't he? Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, maybe it was a 76. I don't know, but still, 27-year-old normal is pretty hard to get behind. But yeah, it was a big dev up for Forrest because we're kind of thinking as a star or normal. Is he the guy for the future? And now, even though his upgrades were terrible, he looks to be right. I don't understand how his man and zone are so freaking bad though. To go from normal to superstar and he barely went up in man or zone is crazy. Oh, Musgrave actually went up in dev, didn't he? That's big. I don't know why I looked at Bijan. He was already superstar to start. But Musgrave went up in dev. That could mean that we're fine to just develop him. I think it does mean that. The free agency period, the number 1 guy is the fullback. Use check, we let go because fullback just doesn't really matter. And as we would have expected, DT free agency is not great. We don't know what kind of DT we'll have, though. So it might actually be worth going for, who was that, Fletcher Cox? I don't think it's ever too wrong to go for some Cox. I think it's fine. I think we'll go for it. And here we are in the draft. Oh, we actually do have a second-round pick. I don't know why I thought we had all, early thirds. We don't even have any early thirds. We have, mid-ish. I had pretty much all 2 to 3s and then 3 to 4s, which I was basically kind of leaning on 3 to 4. Oh, who's this? Who are some of these wide receivers out of nowhere? 6'5", 22. Decently fast. If I needed a wide receiver desperately, that would be a usable guy. I would develop him in a user league, of course. Gerard! We only need 1 DT, so I probably could wait for McAllister. How good was he, though? 21 years old is great. Fast. Strength isn't really there, though, and McAllister, I think, was a little bit stronger. 34 reps. McAllister just looks better, right? Why would I do that? Linebackers, Tatum looks better. I think this is a trade down for, a early-ish, pick 5, third-round pick. This might be a further drop back than we wanted, but we're going to make that trade anyways and maybe move up to 5, like we said, in that third round. That's kind of where I feel 5 is good. If for a 3 to 4, typically, there are a couple times you get screwed over, but 5, you usually get what you need. So it would be really dumb if I didn't get what I wanted. And, I don't know if they're there, but I'd imagine someone draftable is there, specifically a DT, hopefully. So we're going to go and get a DT. Trading a 5th round pick to move up 6 spots-ish. I would have done a later pick, but I actually don't know how high of a pick we need for one of the linebackers and or linemen. So I'm just going to go there. McAllister, hoping for hidden. He's starting no matter what, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I would have liked him to be hidden, but, either way, he's going to start, so it could be worse. I kid you not, a billion linebackers went in a row, but we should still have someone here. It's hard to tell, but I think Haynes is probably the best guaranteed player. He's also 21. We might end up going for both anyways, but I think he's the most guaranteed because this guy, we don't know the block shed, whereas the other guy we know for a fact is at worst C zone, whereas Atkins could be a D block shed, right? But either way, Matt Haynes, we might go for both. And he's hidden. All right, so, more of a reason to go for both. And as far as O-line goes, we might only need one, lineman. So I think we might just grab another linebacker right here and then wait until there's only one lineman left, trade up for the final one. Although it's kind of tempting to grab just 2 linemen because they're both looking pretty decent. Very athletic for Wakefield, but think Adkins. Should I go with the outside linebacker? What was the age difference? Were we looking at 21 versus 22? We weren't. I'm going to go Wakefield. Hidden Dev. Hidden Dev. Elite athlete. Not the fastest I've seen, but he's good enough. And then, we're going to be waiting for, obviously, linemen, which we should get at least someone. I'm surprised they're still there, though, to be honest. I mean, with them dropping this far, I think I am going to make the trade up. I think we're going to go for New England and Washington here. 3 spots for a 6th-round pick. Now, the next one might cost us a little bit more than we would want, but I just think it's worth it. Like, we didn't really have to trade up much, and we traded down more than we traded up, so why wouldn't I just make the deal, potentially get 2 hidden development trade linemen, and depending on how everyone develops, we might be done with the draft, so we might be trading for, like, proven talent. That would have been a big mistake. Might be trading for, like, proven talents to push us over the edge, depending on how well we play. But there's a 6th round next year, not going to go. 5th round next year should do it. And we're cooking up if that goes, which it does. So back-to-back picks here are going to be linemen, I would imagine. Unless I made a mistake and there's not enough linemen to go around, then I go for another linebacker because I think the other one's still there. He is. I would say Rodgers is probably better, but we're going to go Weldon first. Hidden development trait. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. And then the final draft pick here is going to be the center. We did pretty well here, even if this guy's normal. I think we did pretty well. And he's hidden. Obviously, it would have been nice to, swap one of the hidden linemen for the DT being hidden, but I am satisfied with the draft we had. The value was immense for the picks that we had. No first-round pick. All right, the draft recap, 83 overall. With some players, the DT was only a 70. That is an L. 75 for the middle linebacker, 74 for the outside linebacker, 73 for both of the linemen. Do we move anyone over? Wakefield probably plays right out. I think you got to start the rookies, right? Like, surely we got to start the rookies. Even with Christian Harris now being star, he's still a lower overall than Wakefield, so unless Wakefield's actual ratings are worse, which they could be because his zone sucks, I might have to just start him over. But I think I might bench him. I really do. I think Christian Harris might have a better ceiling, even though he was really raw out the gate. And then O-line, I mean, really don't really need anyone. I suppose Weldon might have a chance to start over Stromberg. Kind of balanced, I guess. I've definitely seen worse. And I'm curious to see the other linebacker, because we obviously had a choice between either one, really. Did the guy we actually pass on, was he still there? It wasn't Peralta. It was Atkins. And he was also hidden, in fairness. Oh, he's better than the linebacker we took. That outside linebacker, as usual, was a scam. Outside linebackers just aren't as good as inside linebackers. The middle linebackers, they have more balance to them. And they're typically faster. All right, so here we are with Season 2. Really didn't change much, but the new right guard has a little bit higher of a ceiling than Stromberg. He has better base ratings. And Wakefield did have better ratings across the board than Christian Harris. Don't know what Christian Harris would be worth, but man, he is so bad. We'll take a look at the other players. I might just trade Christian Harris off on my own. Can't imagine we get much for him. Might just keep him for depth. I don't know. But, yeah, and then McAllister, who's only a 70 overall, probably need a DT still. Ooh, Herbie with the dev up. He's an X factor. Let's go. All right, 116 mil. Jalen Waddle needs a contract. So we're paying our edge rushers, then we're paying our wide receivers. Actually, we're paying everyone this season. Holy crap, there's a lot of players here. But they're all kind of at good times to re-sign them, in my opinion. So maybe not Jalen Waddle. I think no matter what, you're kind of paying him a lot. But it would have gotten worse, in fairness. And then Quentin Johnston, we're hoping, is pretty cheap as well. Because these are positions that are hard to get, right? Like edge, wide receivers. Those are really hard to draft and develop. So glad to get those contracts out of the way early. Forbes, maybe you can replace him. But for the price, can you? Probably not, right? And we'll probably have to do a 3.5 or whatever the hell that was on the next one. Rozier's pretty good, so we're going to bet on him as well. 7-year, 52. I don't know if we'll have enough money for everyone, but in theory, when the money is factored in for real life, and we're paying everyone 25% less than what they probably would be going for in real life, you would only assume that we should be able to afford everyone. I don't even have to upgrade this. Look, a 7-year, 28. That's crazy. Now, Dobbs is probably going to go because I don't want to risk it. Even though I feel like I can afford everyone, I don't want to risk it, right? I want to keep as many players as I can. And a third wide receiver isn't that important. We'll just find some 75 overall random free agent. Maybe even him if no one wants him. We'll up the offer for Forbes, and we're cooking with all of our players still. We might have ourselves a bye week. We may be cooking. We do. 14-3. Pretty good stuff. Herbert cooking up those playbooks, I'm telling you. We ended up keeping the Chiefs playbook on from last season. The Panthers was okay, but obviously we didn't really improve the team much at all, especially not with big names, yet changing the playbook has insanely changed the outcome of this team. We got to try to beat the Buccaneers. That's all I can say. Herbert, probable MVP, but I can't tell. Robinson might be even in the conversation. Definitely not going to win it, but in the conversation. How is Dobbs higher than Quentin Johnson? Johnson was number 2 wide receiver, number 1 slot. What does that even mean? But okay. Actually, no, number 2 slot. I don't even know, but Broderick Jones at 15 sacks allowed. Okay, now we're getting into sad numbers. Sweat! Karlaftis! My boys! They've made it. They're officially here. Carlson was great. AJ Cole was decent. Adding a kick return touchdown or punt return touchdown would have been icing on the cake. MVP does not go to our quarterback. He's number 3, believe it or not. And then award wins. Any award wins for the Rooks? No one's getting award wins for us. Let me tell you that much. Wow, we really didn't win any awards. Either way, let's get ourselves to the Super Bowl. First things first, though, the divisional round. Even though this is a randomizer, you still do worry about different team schemes. The Eagles are a team that, in real life are looking very obvious, Super Bowl contenders. So the game might be like, hey, let's force them in there. They also have Mahomes, so this could be really bad. Going to the end of the game, 7-0, 3-7, 10-7, we're leading. Defense is doing well, but offense has got to cook up. Gave up 3, that's fine. We got 7. Gave up nothing. Come on, huge drive. Touchdown, we take that. Come on, D. It's okay. Oh, huge rushing touchdown. That could be it. It could be it. To the championship round, beating the MVP-led Philadelphia Eagles with Mr. Mahomes. Unbelievable. Herbert outplayed him. He outplayed him. Rushing. Robinson did not outplay him technically. It's 58 yards. That's a big number. You take that away, and it's 11 for, 40 at best? Receivers, Marquise Brown's one of their best. Jalen Waddle is like a better Marquise Brown. Darren Waller, Musgrave's not quite there yet. But, we have a good team, all right? What about the defense? Do we apply some pressure, sweat against his former team? TJ Edwards back on the Eagles gets a sack as a non-pass rusher. That's interesting. The Cardinals, 83 overall. Really? Who the hell did they have to beat to get? Oh, yeah, it's a fantasy draft. Either way, they're still pretty low overall, though. 28-14 over the Lions, and then 27-21 over Dallas, though. I mean, Dallas could have the worst team in the world, which I kind of imagine they don't, and their playbook alone, their playbook set, would give them a good chance. Let's take a look at what their team actually looks like overall-wise. I mean, 85 overall is not bad. That's 2 higher than the Cardinals, believe it or not. Gilmore's there as well, which is interesting. But let's go in against the Cardinals. Surely the Cardinals aren't the team that knock out our dreams, right? Do they have that in them? A lot of X Factors drafted, though. Back-to-back teams with a CPU drafted X Factor. All right, we can't. We have to make the Super Bowl. We cannot lose to the Cardinals roster. Or their playbooks, mainly. I don't know who their players even are at this point, but I need to know. Are we in the Super Bowl or not? The defense is not going to allow them to come even close. And we're going to win 34-7. We're looking strong. We're looking like we could beat anyone. Probably not, because the Cardinals playbook is not great. Yeah, we almost lost to Ritter and them. Not really, but kind of. Yates, once again, like in our Rams rebuild, this is why you cannot develop CPU running backs. It just doesn't work. Stop trying. Literally stop trying. There's just no point. I don't know what they did, but EA thinks you have to be a god-tier running back to put up 4 yards per carry, even though it is super common in the league. Who's in the Super Bowl? Obviously, I still don't want it to be the Chiefs, because their scheme is good. We know it. We've used it quite a bit, and that's exactly who we get. DevOps. Maybe someone on defense. Probably not anyone on offense. Oh, Musgrave and Waddle. Okay. I thought, Musgrave had another kind of iffy season, but I don't know what it is, but man is cooking. He is cooking. Oh, he actually did have a really good year. I don't know why I thought he had a worse year than that. I thought he was at 700 yards again. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. It's good enough to get to star, but it won't be to get, to get to X Factor. But or Superstar did. Speaking of X-Factor, Waddle gets the dev up. So offense is on the up and up. We like to see this. Defense, really? 15.5 sacks isn't, I mean, okay, I guess. No dev up for Sweat or Karlaftis. McAllister obviously needs to be replaced, and then Trenton Simpson did pretty well for himself so far. That is crazy. No Karlaftis or Sweat, though. That is nuts. 87 versus 87. The man we could have taken versus the man we did. Hurts versus Herbert. That is legendary. It's going to happen. We're going to lose. It's the damn Chiefs roster, or playbooks. I keep saying roster, but it's the playbooks of the Chiefs. They're already smoking us, but luckily it's only field goals. Field goal battle. Huge drive, no score. 6-9. They're going to score. Yep, there's the touchdown. We are not looking good. Come on, offense. They got to go for this. 11 minutes left. They are going to go for it. Really? The trap play? I'm not going to use the trap play, but I like the audible out of this, so obviously that's what I'm going to be doing. Waddle's my man. Let's see, Waddle. Don't know what that freaking ability is, but it seemed busted. Huge play as Herbert is about to get sacked. All right, come on, Panthers. Don't sell. Bro, the sell is astronomical. And I get it. They can kick the field goal, but, like, no. Get the damn touchdown, bro. And Ficus. I didn't think Musgrave was going to do it, and he did, and they get the stop, so we should have kicked the field goal, and now we're down by 3. We would have been tied, and now they can win the game on a field goal themselves. 3rd and 1, the game's literally over if they get this. Unless the clock's running, then it's already over. From the 3, you have to have it. I mean, you literally have to have the stop. And we're going to get the sack. No push for Hurts is going to lead to a field goal, which they hit. A touchdown would win it. We have like 1 or 2 plays we can keep in the middle of the field, but it's got to be for some yardage. We also just cannot afford a sack. I mean, there's really not anyone open, but Waddle makes it happen. Hurry up to the line. Massive play. Oh my God, the clock is gone. I got to just keep the tight end route because it's going to take too long to audible. They won't let me hike it. That could, I mean, that's got a chance. Good D. That was a great catch chance, though, by Quentin. Quentin got the feet down perfectly, but we just couldn't get it there. We do have, like, wheel routes, so maybe we get the sideline. Maybe Waddle just burns down the side. Come on, Dobbs. Sell this. Dobbs. Good catch. Big play, big play. We got 10 seconds left. We can get a little closer. Kind of want to run that exact same play. Will they let me? Is that is the same play? It didn't look like the same. They're a little bit closer to line, which means Waddle could score. Come on, somebody get open. Waddle! Waddle! Get out of the way! Holy crap! They tried to stop the same play, thinking we were going to go for the sideline time saver, and Waddle slips behind. It's a perfect throw to the outside, and an extra point will win it. Unbelievable. That is a drive. And we're Super Bowl champions. Wow. Yeah, you, Waddle. Jalen Waddle. Dobbs obviously cooked up, too. That was a great sideline catch. Didn't overrun the route. He just, waited for the ball, and the ball was a little underthrown. Just to keep it safe. Got to make sure we don't get tackled inbounds. Dobbs almost tackled us inbounds, to be fair, but wow, what a win. That was so epic. I almost want to end it there. But I think because it's so early, I gotta go. If it was like Season 4, maybe you're like, okay, screw it. Good enough. But not Season 4 means I think we got to go for the Dynasty. Maybe even the back-to-back. I skipped the actual trophy hold. I am an L walking. Double the yards for Herbert. I mean, can't say double the touchdowns. He had 0 touchdowns. Him being Hurts. Fumble by Bijan. Hopefully it wasn't recovered by them because that would be a sell. Dobbs was great. Waddle was great. Musgrave, the big 3. Even though Johnston's supposed to be the big 3. He got a touchdown, though, which is important. Sacks. I mean, we had a pretty good regular season, but postseason was pretty quiet. Kicker stuff was, basic. Everyone hit their kicks. No drama there. All right. I mean, the team's already pretty good as is, but we'll see what we can do to make the team a little bit better. We need a new DT. I kind of want to trade for someone. We had the draft, added a couple okay players, but I kind of want a proven DT as we're only doing 2 seasons, and unless we draft like a goon DT, it's just not going to happen for us. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we try to trade for a DT. I don't know if there's anyone that's on the market, maybe we get Derek Brown. You know, we could have had a chance at him, and we didn't go for him, which I think in the end was a smart choice, as our edge rushers actually did really well. And once again, edge is just significantly harder to develop than DT, and harder to just draft in general. But free agency, let's see if there's a DT in here. Maybe we don't need to trade for anyone. Maybe we get lucky. Slay Ekwonu. Ekwonu is pretty good, but I think we're fine on O-line, to be honest. So we're going to save our money there and just put huge numbers. We might be able to cheap lowball Dobbs, but put huge numbers into the DT spot. I really don't want to lose Dobbs because he was huge for us, but at the same time, do I really want to pay a backup? Oh, we sold. Dobbs was a hero, though, wasn't he? He was a hero. He's not going to join us. I sold. No way. I let the Super Bowl hero walk, man. And he goes to the Cowboys, who are good. He's going to win a Super Bowl with them, too. And we deserve it. Well, let's find a DT. All right, we trade a first, a fourth, a sixth, and Tavai to the Jets for Derek Brown. He was the only guy we could actually really afford. All right, the Jets have literally a 63 overall quarterback. They do have pick 7 overall, but there's a couple of other teams in EQB, so I'm hoping they still suck. I'm going to trade our 3rd and 7th this year to the Jets, mainly because I just don't want to freaking scout when I have 1 draft pick. It just seems like a waste. I'd rather put that pick to next year, probably get something better for it, and draft like a full team, or use all those picks for a regular player again. It just doesn't feel worth spending my time scouting a bunch of different players when I have 1 pick. I just got to be honest. Hewitt. They took us 23-year-old tackle. They don't have a quarterback. Oh, man. I should really try to trade for their first-round pick. Like this. Oh, they took a freaking superstar. I can't even say anything to them. I need to trade for their pick. I don't imagine they're going to be good. Unless they actually did get a QB, because they had 2 first-round picks, didn't they? No, Daniel St. Louis. Oh, man. Oh, well. It is Season 3 time, but more importantly, the back-to-back Super Bowl chance. Depth isn't looking great, but obviously if you're not going to spend money in free agency, it's going to be like that in a fantasy draft. A lot of people, a lot of teams keep their players. I was like, even though we got Derek Brown now, I kind of want to put Brazee as the starter DT. Nah, Derek Brown went up 3 overalls at DT. We ain't messing around with that. Edge, like I said, backup, the depth is not great, but this is a pretty good team, especially when you consider the fact that it's a fantasy draft situation where most teams are going to have a lot of holes on their squad. We don't really have any, so it could be a backup, dude. 3 overalls higher than the Steelers. I mean, you just don't know. All right, bit of a losing streak, I got to admit. Tyler Smith, I will never let go in any rebuild. I don't really want to pay him this much, but if we're going to keep him long-term, it's only going to cost more, so might as well pay him. That was a lot of money. But Onwenu kind of wants more. And I don't know. I think maybe you think about letting him go. I worry about the future of this team. 75 mil is a lot of money. Can I do like a 1 year? Just like I would like a little tester contract just in case we're about to go broke. I'll try to do a 1 year 20. And we're in the playoffs. Huge comeback on the season. We were like 2-4. Didn't change this the playbooks because I mean obviously why would I? We won a Super Bowl with the playbooks we had, so I didn't want to change it, and it works out in the end as we turn it around and we make it back to the playoffs. No bye week, but very close to it. We definitely turned it around nicely. Herbert, the touchdowns, where are they? We did have a lot of rushing touchdowns, but wow, those are pretty low numbers. Okay, Quentin Johnson's being wasted as well. The number 3 seems to get more in this playbook than anyone, but whatever. Double digit for the edge again. No. Derek Brown with 10.5. Karlaftis with only 8. Haynes with 6.5. The scheme's going crazy. It's getting wild out here. We got the linebackers doing things. I don't really care about the rest. I'm going to be honest with you. Punter, kick return, punt return never is anything special, so why even care? Obviously, we're not going to have any rookies. Of the year, Bijan with a running back of the year win, though. And no other wins. So we're headed here for a chance at the back-to-back 90 overall to their 85. Let's see if the overalls matter. 0-0. Looks like right to left is us. No, it's not. It's actually left to right. Both teams being blue kind of threw me off. 10-3. Halftime, they are locking us up right now. We get the touchdown. Down 7. Tied up. Come on, offense. 4th and 9. What are they going to do? Wow, okay. That's a lot of pressure on Daniel, which it's too much. I mean, I don't know, dude. As much as I like Daniel Carlson, a 60-yard field goal to try to tie the game up in the playoffs is tough. We got beat by a team with a quarterback that had 9 completions for slightly over 100 yards. We were garbage on offense. The offense was horrible. And the only missed field goal was that 60-yarder. That is disappointing. There's no way that Seahawks team comes even close to the Super Bowl. They're probably going to get smoked this next game. We just let them walk. We let them have it. Like, there's just no way. Like, it's just simply fact. Honestly, though, like, what do you actually do if you're us? Once again, what is a one season going to do for draft picks? Probably nothing, right? The Eagles are in the Super Bowl versus the Chargers. Super disappointment. We could have been there. Could have had the back-to-back. Instead, the best we can do is a dynasty. Gotta say, though, the NFC South is kind of cooking. The Eagles win. Let's take a look at if we had... What the hell is going on here? I want to see the potential dev-ups, if we had any. And then going for the final season no matter what, as we're going to try to get that 2 out of 3 year Super Bowl dynasty win if we physically can. No dev-ups on offense. Defensively, it's going to be someone weird. Nope, nobody again. Sweat is just not getting any dev-ups. I don't know what to tell you. What do you even need? I mean, Brazil could be upgraded, I guess. But O-line's great. I mean, there's really, honestly, nothing we need. Like, there's, like, legitimately. Like, normally it's like, oh, I guess I'll upgrade this guy because, you know, might as well. Not even. Like, honestly, not even. Maybe Forrest because, like, yeah, he's a high overall, but his zone probably sucks. Like, does his overall matter that much? Is an 86 is good. Puts him as the 9th-ranked free safety, but the zone and man, specifically zone, is really bad. And I say specifically because obviously most safeties aren't going to be great in man and zone, but our guy's like middling. I think you maybe trade for a safety. Like, I just don't know how the draft helps us. Maybe I just draft to future-proof the team anyways, just to be like, oh, here's the realistic move. But I don't really care about realism in a rebuild like this, right? Like, we literally just did a draft where every single team's players is up for grabs. So, do I really care about realism in a video like this? Probably not. Bijan needs a contract. Let's see. So, let's go by expense. Herbert needs a contract soon, but not yet. Witherspoon, corner, we don't replace. Running back, we don't replace. Kicker, we maybe replace, but that's not something you like focus on in the draft. Maybe a draft safety? Kirby Joseph's decent, but like, do you really want to pay him if we're about to go broke because of Herbert, maybe? I don't know. I really don't. I think maybe we just draft depth. Or, you know what, just trade for depth. Let's just trade for, like, an edge rusher or something. Why not? And also, since it's the last year, we're probably going to end up tagging on Wenu. 1 year 20 didn't go. I enjoyed playing for you. Well, you still enjoy playing for us. 15.5 mil or 15.8. Christian Harris is a decent depth piece, but that is actually really costly. More than I would have thought, but that's because they think he's edge because he's outside linebacker. Let's go to free agency, see if there's anything there. I think the best thing we could probably do is depth up. At edge rusher. Linebacker wouldn't hurt either, to be fair, because, you know, even though I kind of gave praise for Trenton Simpson, he kind of took a step back this year. Went like 2 overalls up only. That free agency, talking about taking a step back, that class is terrible. I don't know what the hell is going on there. But I don't know, dude. Maybe it's just like my bias kicking in where I don't want to scout players that aren't going to play a factor, but like, why wouldn't I just go for an edge rusher that's proven and maybe see if that changes anything with our success. Maybe put Karlaftis on the bench if we find someone better. And if not, I mean, we at least have depth there. Hackney, I don't think that's going to happen. You know what? Let's try it. He's absolutely worth it. Really? They gave up an 87 overall, 24-year-old superstar dev edge rusher for pick 24. And this is on base trade sliders. Why would you ever like draft an edge? The odds of getting someone as good as this are like next to nothing. And yet now we have him for next to nothing. Pick 24, you ain't getting a player this good. There's not, I mean, hell, there's edge rushers that are 24. And they aren't guaranteed to be 99. Oh, my lord. Oh, speaking of number 99, that's like their only... We got 98. Looking like Max Crosby. But yeah, we could still trade for more. Maybe get a linebacker with a second and 2/3, but... Either way, that was a massive trade. I really like that trade. Maybe we do get a safety anyways. Do we go for safety? Linebacker's kind of needed. There's like an old-ass veteran, Bobby Okereke, or Okereke, I should say, It's not really like I was hoping for like a Devondre Campbell, or maybe not Devondre Campbell, but Demario Davis type, perhaps, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. This feels insanely high of a trade for a 31-year-old star dev middle linebacker, but we're not going to be here next draft. So why should I worry? I'm just chilling with our new inside linebacker, Aluakon, who's probably already not as good as Simpson. I don't know what we're getting here, but at least we're getting some depth. I mean, that's basically that. Let's start the next season. I mean, there's just no point in drafting. There just isn't. I actually still had 2 draft picks, and they gave me a hidden development trade wide receiver. He's raw as hell, but hidden dev be hidden dev, you know? And here we are looking at the roster for the final season. Can we get the second Super Bowl out of 3 for the Dynasty? Who freaking knows? But the team is pretty good. It's pretty good. Our highest overall lineman is ironically a normal dev one, which is why I took him. You know, it's not all about the devs. If you're high enough overall, especially as good as he looked, you can still cook, and he absolutely did. Still going to be starting Karlaftis, still going to be starting Trenton Simpson, just because those guys are the best at their specific ratings, even if they're not the highest overall, even though Karlaftis might be. Aluakon has worse block shed and zone coverage, and then Karlaftis has higher power move than the backups that we traded for finesses. 106 mil, so Bijan, obviously, we're just going to knock that out right away. I mean, it's a lot of money for a running back, but we've seen what it's like to not have a proven running back, and it is pain. Devon Witherspoon is going to be on the team still. Kirby Joseph probably gets a contract. Broderick probably gets a contract. I think he let Onwenu go just to be, like, safe, because you're going to have to pay, like, potentially, like, 20 to 30 mil more than you've already been paying for Herbert. So, obviously, that's going to be a bit of a jump that you're not really expecting. So, I think that's what you would do. Cam Smith is actually pretty good that we're, you know, like, if we're going to go for a different safety, maybe he could just play safety. That's such a cheap contract. Kirby Joseph may even be like, you know, someone you get rid of because I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, he took a pretty fair deal, so I had to do it. Broderick, we could probably do not better, but similar. We're gonna take him back anyways, though. 50 mil left. Obviously Stromberg will be gone. I think you obviously tag the edge rusher because I don't know if we'll be able to afford him after this. And then kicker punter, I think you just get new ones. All right, this is a bit far out. This is, I simmed like from mid-season, and we got the bye week. I was worried I seen that. I was like, oh, we missed the playoffs. But no, it was just that we had another bye week, which is how we got the Super Bowl in the first place. You never know. It could be the time. We are back in there, maybe. Obviously, no wild card round, so we're just straight on to the divisional after this. Way better season from Herbert. Could be MVP just because that pick rate, touchdown to pick ratio is ridiculous. Obviously, Bijan's been stealing touchdowns left and right. Musgrave might be an X factor because of the yards. Quentin Johnson was pretty good. Mixon, once again, the slot receiver is kind of the one that cooks on this team or on this scheme. Looking at sack totals, Karlaftis was pretty damn good. Brazil was pretty damn good. Sweat was a disappointment. And then Brown, he's more of a block shedding run stopper, so it makes sense. Witherspoon is probably an X factor after that. Carlson, I mean, if there was ever a time to get rid of Carlson, now would be the time. Cole, obviously, though, 54.1 is really good. Did he get MVP? He didn't. Back to number 3, though, which is something. Offensive Player of the Year for Bijan. And running back of the year as well. Obviously, if you're the best offensive player, I'd imagine you'd be best at the singular position. But let's go to the wild card round, or the divisional round, actually, excuse me, and see who it is against. The Commanders. It's kind of cool that we've been playing new teams every time, though. We played, like, what, 5 playoff teams, and they're all different? Pretty impressive. Maybe even more than that. Maybe like 6. I don't know, but all different. Can we do it? Are we going to become a dynasty? The Bills are almost undefeated, which is not a good sign if we're going to make it to the Super Bowl and have to play them. But let's see it. I mean, first things first, let's get past the Commanders because we've been in some weird ones against some teams that aren't really like the best, especially when you compare them to us. But 14-3 is a pretty good start. Halfway through the game, we are still up, but only by 4. That lead has gone. Touchdown here could be a win for them. We're down by 6. And from our own, or from their own 9, they have a chance to win it. And it's going to be a pick. Touchdown could give us the lead. They didn't, wait, did they go for it? Okay, at least they went for it. It was knocked down in 3rd and 2. The season's on the line. The repeat, if you will. Well, not repeat, but the dynasty's on the line. I think you got to go for the run commit no matter what. And hope you get there if they do throw it. Oh my god, I thought he actually got away from us. All right, last time out gone. Tua not going to get it. You can argue a block, but I'd rather just go deep and just return this. I have no idea who Cooper is, by the way. Who is that? Who the hell is he? He's a guy that ran straight. That's all I know about him. All right, Big Arm McGee. Let's see if he can do it. Is that a linebacker going into Waddle? I think that's a streak. Could be a safety in fairness, but I don't care. Streak anyways. Led that inside. Perfect throw. Held on. Hurrying up to the 18-yard line. Instead of needing more clock, they might need the clock over us. Could go to Johnston inside. And that's a perfect throw. Back-to-back dots by Herbert. And an extra point away from taking the lead. Wow, perfect throws back-to-back. That is impressive. Extra points hit, and barring a miracle, no effing way. Tell me the clock's gone. No way. I'm going to time it. I didn't get it. There's no way that they just got down the field. I mean, they did have timeouts, but when has that ever happened for us? We just lost in the most spectacular fashion ever. Can I look back at, like, the sequence of events? Wait, so what even happened here? They get the ball at the 25. 25 seconds. They go 7 yards, 27 yards. How did they move down that far? What are they talking about? Actual rigging from EA. They just went down. What? So he gained 7, he got 27. I guess it makes sense. 27 yards. All right, fair enough. We suck. What can I tell you? Let's take a look at the stats as we exit. Very disappointed in the last 2 seasons. This could be one of those ones where it gives me an idea in the future, like we have a perfect ending, even if it's early. And this is going to be like, okay, instead of continuing, nice field goal miss. Instead of continuing, we could have just ended it at the perfect time and we'd have been perfectly fine, but nope. Oh well, 2 more seasons and it didn't work out. What can you do? Either way, let's take a look at our players and see how they developed. Obviously, some of the names were very low overalls early on, and some of them weren't. Bijan, I'm kind of curious to see how good he got. Super Bowl, is it the Bills? They only lost 1 game, and they're not going to be in it. The Colts are there. Stole their spot. The Cowboys, who would have thought? Always in it with that scheme. And they do win overall. Musgrave probably went up in dev. It's kind of irrelevant now, but should be an X factor. Not an X factor, really. All those other seasons, especially the first one, little surprised. And then got no dev up in the season I thought he was going to get. A lot of yards. What was it, 1,200 as a tight end? Of course, Trenton Simpson got the dev up, which, I mean, really made sense that we kept him as a starter then. I guess we'll take a look at Tyler, right? He's a pretty high overall. Normal dev, but, I mean, kind of balanced. It's kind of hard to get any more balanced than that unless you started out as like a 90 overall. Very good pass blocking, though. Athletic, 94 strength. You kind of play anywhere you want him to. Paid him a pretty big contract, so if we were to lose Onwenu, we could maybe put him at tackle or something like that. Any other lineman we care about? I guess I'll take a look at Broderick. He's like a rookie in real life, so why not? Good finesse blocking. Base ratings aren't great, and then power blocking's terrible. But as a tackle, if you were going to have one be bad, it would, I suppose, be the power blocking. Waddle release is terrible, which is a little surprising since he's so fast. You would think that'd be something he works on, because then he'd be unguardable. Catching's lower than I thought, too, and then deep route is pretty good, pretty bad, whereas everything else is really good. Didn't get to 99 speed, very close. Bijan I'm probably the most curious about, but first we'll go to Quentin, 25 years old, and the release, man, these receivers just don't ever dev that. Everything else is great, though, but it's just the release. It's just can't get off the line, I guess. 87 overall for Musgrave. Obviously, he was actually developing pretty well early on. Great route running, pretty good catching. His speed's 90. I think he only starts at 88. That's a lot for a tight end. 2 upgrades to speed, which is very rare to get 1, let alone 2. Like I said, Bijan's the number 1 I want to see, so Herbert's going to be the guy I look at before him. Basically 99 everything, not quite the throw power. Break sack's also pretty low. Let's take a look at Bijan now, who does have an upgrade point, so let's go with a power back. I mean, is the hair getting gray? I guess running for this team will do that to you. 2 to strength and trucking is ridiculous. 96 juke, 95 spin. 98 change directions, insane. 91 truck, 86 stiff, 93 speed, 94 excel, 99 carry, 95 ball carrier vision, 93 break tackle, some okay receiving ratings. I mean, he is as advertised. Defense, probably not going to be as fun, but we'll take a look. Sweat's a 90 overall, which, I mean, I don't know how he didn't get a dev up. The first, was it 2 seasons? Definitely early on enough, early-ish. Brazil, let's take a look. Wow, he is really bad. 83 block shed, no power move, pretty much. That is horrible. That's, like, really useless. Derek Brown, obviously, we got him at, like, I think 87, 88 block shed. Power move was already 80, like, something. Not a whole lot going on there. Forbes, the 87 overall, I'd imagine it's only one style again. Yeah, you just got to try to find the slot archetype. But even then, with slot archetype, it usually ends up becoming man coverage, because man coverage just, you get so many upgrades from that. So then you get slot for a little bit, and then it goes straight to man anyways. And speaking of man, 99 man for Witherspoon, 81 zone, which is fair, but obviously you want that dual style if you can get it. Kirby Joseph, we just paid him. We kind of knew what his zone coverage is, but 87 zone. Speed went up 1, I think, which, I mean, maybe you should have went Daxton Hill. I don't know. But Derek Forrest is an 89 overall now, which is actually pretty big. 28 years old now, and that man in zone is just so terrible still, but what can I do? He was hybrid type. Now we have a Haynes, who's an 87 overall already at 24. Of course, as an edge, he's going to cost a lot, but look at the balance. 78 zone, 85 block shed. He is kind of crazy, actually. And then I imagine the other guy's going to be so bad at zone it hurts, but let's take a look anyways. John Wakefield, 68 zone. That's not terrible. It's not great, but 85 block shed. These guys, I mean, we should be the best run D in the entire league by some margin. I mean, this is a ridiculous run-stopping front, and, you know, front 7. But Trenton Simpson, another good block shedding player, but he's a little more balanced with the zone coverage. No man coverage, but very good in the end. And that is going to be it for our fantasy draft rebuild, where we take the position that was selected right before us, but after. It was a pretty good idea, so once again, shout out to Luca. And if you guys have any other suggestions you would like to see done, you'll get a little shout out, and maybe it'll be a fun little video. Maybe that's something that's like a staple on the channel going forward, you know, more than just this Madden. So, yeah, I really appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I really do appreciate continued support on the channel. And maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays, for now Madden content. Don't know if you would have seen a Spider-Man video yesterday, but you will see one tomorrow. I know I said I was going to post one on Sunday last week, but didn't, but we did have it on Friday. So, like I said, going forward, I would like to get 2 uploads per week on the second channel, starting next week. So be on the lookout for that, and that's about it. Don't know if there would have been any more videos today, but should have been 2 before this. So that's the plan. Back on Monday on the main channel with something, maybe Texans franchise perhaps. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.